Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday morning recap show. Right around 4:30 p.m. East Coast time. We're early.
Right on time.
Early.
Fucking go.
Early. Hot weekend full of games. D'Anthony and I were at the playoffs this weekend. Cincinnati, Tennessee. Great game. Came down to a last-second field goal. The real Super Bowl, what I said last week, was the Super Bowl. That Buffalo KC game was the greatest thing maybe ever.
It's got to be a top, 2 or 3.
Yeah, don't want to be prisoner of the
NFL
moment.
game of all time.
Yeah, ever.
Don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but that was fucking fantastic. 25 points in a minute 54, I think.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
With 3 minutes left in the game, the over was in danger of not hitting.
And now, it was what? They finished at 78 points.
Yeah.
Not even close. 54 and a half is what I think we bet it before kickoff. So I think that's where it landed, somewhere in the 54 to 54 and a half range. Smashed it. It was one of those games you didn't want to see end. We'll get to the OT rule here to start off with. When are they going to fucking change this? Because I wanted to see Josh Allen at least have a chance to score a touchdown. This is fucking dog shit. What are we doing here?
NFL memes, which is one of the better Twitter follows in sports, in my opinion, because they roast everybody all the time. It's great, but they put up a meme this morning. It was like if the NFL had the correct overtime rules, the final score of the game would have been 124 to 119.
Yeah,
because you can't stop either one of those. Josh Allen's a fucking stud.
Animal.
Yeah.
Animal. And I wanted to see him get the ball.
Everybody knows Patrick Mahomes is, but Josh Allen isn't just a guy with a good arm who could run anymore. He's a guy that put laser passes right into the hands of receivers between two defenders to what he thought was going to win a game, right?
Yeah.
13 seconds is a lot
Pretty
of time,
much to one receiver.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, 200-plus yards for that guy.
Making UCF proud.
I don't even know who it is.
Yeah.
Unless you went to UCF, nobody knows who that is.
He's on the undefeated team.
Yeah.
Well, was he really?
It was UCF on UCF crime because he was burning Mike Hughes.
Yeah, yeah. And he's
No
going to be,
shit.
now he's either going to be, we'll see how his career develops after this. Having a good reputation as a receiver means something, as dumb as that sounds, but it makes you more likely to get the ball, right? Because a guy just develops trust with you. And he and Allen looked like they've been playing together for years.
Yeah, it was fucking insane.
Was he getting open so much because they were more worried about Beasley and Diggs?
Probably.
That's what I think.
They shut down Diggs.
But he performed too. So if you've got Beasley, Diggs, who we know can perform, and then this guy who can also perform, now our defenses are like, oh.
Yeah.
And he probably performed because Matthew was out,
the whole
5
game.
minutes into the game?
Yeah. Tyrann Mathieu was out.
I thought it was over when there was 13 seconds left. I didn't think in a million years the Chiefs
I had a
go
chance. Me and Alex Monaco had a chance to hedge at 16-1. There was 13 seconds left. The Chiefs, I had the Bills money line, obviously, and then Chiefs were 16-1. I looked at it, and I was just like, nah.
It's impossible.
Not a chance.
I didn't think so either. It was impossible. The craziest stat I heard from this game was that last play of the Dallas Cowboys game was longer than the 13 seconds that Mahomes had.
Yeah.
it was 16 seconds.
Yeah.
What
the fuck, dude?
If you watched any sports this morning, or even last night, I guess, late, but especially this morning, most of what everybody's talking about, other than Aaron Rodgers being a loser, is that you gave them 13 seconds. It's 13 seconds you're about to kick the ball off, right? First of all, there's a number of things they could have done. They could have gone for 2 because you're still up. Look, all you're doing by not going for 2 is making sure that you're up by 3 instead of 2.
No. They went for 2.
They
went for 2 to get.
Yeah. So they went for 2. That was a good call on them. And then the bad call was not kicking the squib. Why?
I don't know. You're going to give him 10 extra yards with the squib.
What?
And 4 less seconds. So.
Yeah, I hate the squib.
I don't like the squib.
It's 3 to 5 seconds, which takes you down to 8 seconds. So that's 1 play.
Yeah,
maybe 2 if you're lucky.
It's just you cannot have a team go 50 yards on you in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
That just is unacceptable.
But we saw it twice.
Especially when you're one of the best defenses in the fucking league.
Yeah. The good news is Harrison Butker seems to not have the yips anymore.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't have any trouble yesterday.
Well, no, he did.
Missed
He
one.
did.
Well, he missed an extra point too, right?
Yeah. And a field goal.
But when it mattered, he didn't miss.
No.
So that's good to see for Kansas City, because otherwise when we were watching the game, I'm like, Butker's already missed twice today. What do you think is going to happen here? And he's fucking drills too. So
Yeah, the last one was a 49-yarder to tie it up in regulation. To me, this was the Super Bowl winner. I said whoever wins this game was going to win the Super Bowl.
The Rams are pretty fucking tough, man. I mean, Stafford. What I said last week and what I heard a lot of commentators saying last week is that this is Stafford's chance to prove that he's the guy that everybody thought he was. He was just in a bad situation. He definitely proved it. I mean, he threw one of the most perfect passes I've ever seen in my goddamn life, and a guy was charging right into his face. And it didn't even look like he knew what was happening. He just kind of winged it.
Yeah.
Right into Cooper Kupp's hands.
And it wasn't really him shitting away that Rams situation. Like, he wasn't throwing picks. They were fumbling
Cam Akers fumbled the ball.
Well, he fumbled once too, right? And then Cam Akers fumbled twice, and Cooper Kupp fumbled once, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember if Stafford fumbled, but maybe he did. But a fumble's a little different than like if you get
yeah,
blindsided
for
or
sure.
something.
It was like a snap that went above his head.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it
that's
wasn't
not
his
him.
fault.
Yeah.
He just wasn't ready
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I mean, obviously the center just kind of prematurely snapped it, but
So he wasn't really doing it.
Super loud in Tampa.
No, and look, Brady was Brady. It was 27-3. We had given up on that game and went out back to play cornhole in Nashville. And I could not believe it when I popped my head back in just to see, because our partner in DrinkinBrosTickets.com really needed Tampa Bay to lose because their fans don't travel to the Super Bowl and they don't buy Super Bowl tickets the way everybody else does. So he had a lot of money riding on it. He said just by Tampa losing, that'll net him an extra $250,000.
also possibility of Rams home game.
Yeah. And look,
No
LA,
such thing exists.
it does in LA, and I'll tell you why.
For the Rams, it does. The
Yeah, but-
Chargers, no.
Because
They like the Rams.
It was all Niners fans at that Week 18 game.
not this week though.
Yeah.
Because this week they're not selling tickets to anybody from a zip code other than LA.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They are.
fucking
LA
hilarious.
is bandwagon through and through. with
That's
football.
true.
Yes.
I agree.
And once the Rams get in the playoffs, that's when they start to care, and that's
Yeah.
when everyone throws on their fucking Rams jerseys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And
LA
they're-
is a bandwagon town.
Dude, you know who I saw on Instagram with a sign that said "Vamos Rams"? She was at the game. Fuck, like Chloe Grace Moretz, who I was like, you learned what football was
An hour ago.
Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
So those tickets will be astronomical if the Rams go. And look, Benny's amped about it, and rightfully so, because everybody in Hollywood's going to want to be there.
You got that halftime show?
Yes, dude. It's the tickets are right now. I looked before we came on air. $6,800.
Yeah.
For the last row in the stadium right now for a Super Bowl ticket, because Rams fans, rightfully so, they think they're in the Super Bowl. I think so too.
Yeah.
I definitely think that the Rams can beat Kansas City.
I do not, but
Because they've got a premier defender at all three spots, and it's what happened in this game, right? They got torched a little bit by Brady towards the end of the game, but it's Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they held up pretty well for the most of the game. It's like when Tom Brady's involved, it turns into an NBA thing. It's like a game of runs, right? Like they're going to go out and score 14 in a row sometime. You just got to make sure you can fucking win. You know what I mean? I don't think and Mahomes is the same way, by the way. That's what they have to do. They have to fucking take every point they get. Don't go for it on 4th and 3 from your own or from the other team's 40, right? And stupid shit like that. And if you're close enough, kick the fucking field goal, take the points. You're not going to beat any of these teams by trying to do trick plays and shit, I don't think. You've got to play a perfect fucking game.
They certainly should beat the 49ers.
Yeah. But and with this game, to put a button on it here with Brady, people are asking if it's his last game. Why? Yeah. He was great. He had the best season.
He might be MVP.
This is his.
He should be MVP.
I think this is his second and a half or third best season, one of the two.
Obviously, he set an NFL record for completions this year.
Yeah. But the year they got bounced out of the playoffs, the 16-0 year, he's obviously that's one of the best.
That Randy Moss year was insane.
It's one of the best seasons any quarterback's had. So it's not that good, but it was pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like rate wise especially, but he wasn't. You can't defeat the regular season champion Aaron Rodgers and touchdown to interception ratio. I still think he's going to win this the MVP.
He missed too many games.
Aaron Rodgers.
He missed a game and
he
a
was
half.
out. No, he was out for more than that.
He missed 1.5 games.
No.
He was in 16 games this year.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Let's look that up. Because if that was the truth, then Brady still threw him by 1,000 yards then and 15 more touchdowns?
Not 15. What? No.
No, it's like 5 or 6.
I think it's 5 more touchdowns.
still-
But Brady has 3 times more interceptions. Right.
Let's see.
Means he's taking more risks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brady had.
I still want Joe Burrow to win it. But
To win the MVP?
it won't happen. But
I mean, there's definitely, that's got to be like the biggest differential between wins you would have with and without the person.
oh, Burrow, like the Bengals might win 4 games without him.
Yeah,
If it wasn't just, but the MVP is not MVP. It's best player on the best team.
right.
Unfortunately, it would be nice if it was. Although, how do you quantify that in win share or
Also,
whatever?
MVPs in football just don't seem to matter as much as other sports.
Yeah.
It does. Like when the Hall of Fame comes up, it doesn't matter.
To be fair, both the baseball MVPs this year did not make the playoffs. So
yeah,
Yeah, Rodgers played in fucking 16 games. That's right.
yeah.
Why are we comparing this then? Like, Brady had 10 more touchdowns than him.
Brady had
Rodgers was 37,
six more touchdowns and 3 times more interceptions.
right? But he had 1,000 more yards.
Rodgers had 112 rating, and Brady was 10 points behind that. So I guess it depends on
counting versus rate,
what's that?
it's counting stats versus rate stats, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brady, to be honest, Brady dealt with a lot more bullshit this year. He had way more injuries to major players, but he also had more major players to have injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't compare the two wide receiver cores up until the point that AB lost his mind and fucking homeboy.
Aaron Rodgers had to deal with being silenced.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah,
by
silence
the media.
silence
Even though
so
I've
much.
heard him talk more this year than I have his entire career.
Silence
Ever.
so much that he was on the largest sports podcast that exists once a week for 3 hours at a time.
Like, come on,
Dude,
dude.
getting
Every
canceled
single
seems
week.
tight.
Every week.
Getting-
Canceled is tight.
Yeah, getting canceled seems pretty good.
It worked for My Pillow too.
Yeah.
He's like, have you seen these ads My Pillow's running now? It's like, me and my customers have been the victims of cancel culture. Like, dude, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
Can't get canceled.
Got to make
What
that
are you
money,
talking
dog.
about?
Got to make that money, dog.
But yeah, I mean, Herbert had a great year in the regular season. Obviously, they fell off at the end. Stafford's got to be in the MVP conversation too.
Or a Cooper Cup. Just
Yeah.
To see, you have to have such a great season to be a non-quarterback and win
did.
that. And he had close to one of the best.
I think
of all
he's
time.
top 5. I think Cooper Cup for sure is
he's getting the
top
invite to
5.
New York.
Yeah, well,
Heisman.
the streaming.
The Aiden Hutchinson of this fucking MVP conversation.
They're going to be streaming.
But Tom Brady completed 485 passes
Yeah.
in 1 year.
Yeah.
That's fucking
at
stupid.
44 years old.
That's really
Yeah, he's
stupid.
coming back.
He has
Yeah,
to.
he's
He better, yeah. I mean, why would you?
fucking stupid to
I mean, Stephen A. Smith had a weird take on it. He said that Brady always said that he wants to play until he's 45. And while Brady is pretty tight-lipped year to year about stuff, whenever he sets a goal for himself, usually that's just how it works out because that's how his brain works. So I think, and he also, the other really good point he made was that he thinks that Brady owes it to himself and all the NFL to announce before the season, this is going to be my last year, so we can celebrate that man for all the shit he's done.
Yeah.
The same way we did with Jeter, Cal Ripken, all these other guys.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. If he comes back, he comes back. I would hate if he didn't because I think he owes it to himself to absorb all that, and he doesn't owe shit to the fans, but it would be really great for the NFL if he announced this is my last year and then let everybody, like ticket sales for those games.
Oh, yeah. Just to see Brady play.
I mean, Kobe did it too. The ticket sales for those regular season out of LA games, like the road games that Kobe played in LA, they were like 10 times the normal rate for the tickets. To those
yeah,
games.
because I went to one of Kobe's last
I
games.
saw him in fucking San Antonio.
Yeah, and it was, dude, the tickets were
Paid like fucking
the roof.
like $450 for uppers.
Yeah.
But you had to go.
Had to go. Had to say goodbye to Kobe.
You know who's not going to win the MVP is Dak Prescott.
No.
Just seems unnecessary to take a shot at him right
Fuck,
now.
No.
I just saw his name on the page and it made me mad. And
Yeah.
then I thought about Sean up there and that made me laugh.
You're just
He's
looking
down
directly
here.
into his eyes.
Yeah.
He's back there. Now
What-
he's down below.
Sean, how'd you feel about watching Pat Mahomes do with 13 seconds what Dak Prescott can't do with his career?
Come on, like
That's worse.
crazy,
than,
right?
That's way worse than what I said. Shit. Damn, man.
If you're a Cowboys fan watching all this unfold over the weekend, how do you not want to end it?
It's true.
I mean, you're nowhere close to. Well, I mean, the future. The future is Mahomes. The future is Josh Allen, and then you have Dak Prescott. I mean, it's not even close.
Joe Burrow has more
Joe
playoff
Burrow.
wins in 8 days than Dak Prescott has
This
his
is
career.
why the Cowboys are America's team. You guys just can't stop talking about it.
Classic underdog
No matter
mentality.
what.
Yes.
I'm still
God,
talking shit. I don't give a
Cowboys.
fuck.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Burrow's
so you-
got more wins, playoff wins, than the Cowboys in the last 20 years.
Sean has actually moved into UT fan mode, which is, yeah, but we make more money than every other universe. Like our sports, our revenue, dude.
That's why the network worked
Yeah,
out.
we ain't even got to win.
Can I have?
We make
that-
money that I'll never see.
That's all we can do now. Just give us this, that we're really cool and popular.
Yeah,
in the regular season.
he's hanging on by a
Yes.
thread, and you're just chopping at it with the fucking with Excalibur right now.
The best is that meme that's of the Cowboys fan and the girl, and then we found out it was the side chick that he took to the game. Classic Cowboys. Classic Cowboys fans there.
Back to Aaron Rodgers being a loser, though.
No, we'll get to that. So Brady, I think we're all in agreement he shouldn't retire.
He won't.
He won't.
Yeah.
No,
Now
it'll be-
Rodgers,
it'll-
on the other hand, what do you do for Rodgers?
Well,
there?
with Brady, the composition of the team next year still looks pretty good for them. Especially, I mean, obviously with him there, but I think they're still going to be fine. They'll have
Godwin will be back.
Godwin will be back. Evans turned a corner this year. I mean, I say turned a corner like he didn't start his career out with 8 straight years of 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he's,
right?
he's always been good.
He's the only guy to ever do that.
Gronk's like my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gronk is fine.
Also,
Yeah.
also Brady's like a free agent magnet, right? Like he can get if they're like,
I mean,
dude,
Devontae Adams is a free agent, and he's got 3 choices. One is stay with the Packers, and they're going to offer him a fuckload of money to stay there, but they don't really have the cap space to offer him money and time. You know what I mean? And I don't think Tampa Bay does either, but you have to wonder if Adams is going to stay in Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they're both leaving.
And if Aaron retires, which I don't think he will, but if he retires, Adams probably goes to Tampa Bay. I don't know where else he would go, to be honest.
I don't either. If you were looking for Big Ben to stretch this out, Rodgers to me is a guy that will stretch this out until the nth hour, and then make some fucking decision.
Yeah, because he only gives a shit about himself.
Yeah,
He just wants to fuck over the franchise eventually.
exactly. But where does he go? I guess he can go wherever he wants.
Cleveland.
I saw Denver is the favorite right now.
They are, but I mean,
Denver.
Does he want to be in the same division as Patrick Mahomes?
Probably not.
Yeah, he's been playing. As far as divisions go, he's been on fucking easy street his entire career.
He's going up against Kirk Cousins.
49ers would make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. He's
It
from
does.
That's a
California.
brutal division too, though.
He loves.
Yeah, but those mask mandates, man.
But Rodgers, fucking, that's where he's from. That's his home. So,
Plenty of crystals there.
yeah, they need a quarterback. That game was fucking miserable. The 49ers game was the worst goddamn game of all. They're the worst playoff team I've seen go this deep.
No.
Ever. Name a worse team than the 49ers.
The 07 Giants. Yeah, fucking.
But they
beat
won,
them.
right?
They did.
They won the title.
49ers
'Cause
might
they
just
had
fucking
one-
do it.
Those Giants teams had a D line and then like Eli going like just dumb person lucky and then
That
one
is-
receiver.
Niners have a fucking D-line.
Yeah.
Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
Yes,
No,
yes,
he's
he is.
not.
Yes, he
No.
is. He's got 2 Super Bowls.
He
Look
is-
at his numbers.
He was trash most of his career.
He's top
He's-
15 in every statistical category.
By default, he is Hall of Fame. It's also not that hard to get into the Hall of Fame in the NFL.
He's
Kinda is.
Without the
Not
Super Bowls, he
really.
wouldn't be. But those Super Bowls, like
2
got
Super
him
Bowl
in.
wins, and he's top 15 in yards, complete.
Interceptions.
Yeah, but doesn't matter.
He had 6 years straight where he was just really bad. Well, not 6 years. It was like 3 or 4.
What
Yeah.
year did he come into the league? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Eli Manning?
Yeah.
It was,
02 or
it was.
So he has 2 more Super Bowls than the Cowboys have had this entire century. Eli Manning, and you don't think he should be in the Super Bowl? I mean, in the fucking Hall of Fame. Now the 49ers, on the other hand,
what about the
this fucking game was the worst goddamn game ever.
What about the Colts for Aaron Rodgers? Is that a possibility?
I think it's any team that needs a quarterback is on the team.
Really?
For sure,
Yeah.
but he's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
So
It's got to be a.
I think the Colts are a good option for him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where's
I don't know if they
Shailene
have
wanna
enough.
live?
I mean, Chris was pretty adamant that they were going to look at all their options before even considering bringing back broke legs.
I mean,
McBrokey.
Worth noting.
What about Pittsburgh?
Wait.
Pittsburgh fits.
That
San
defense is
Francisco
fucking great.
fits.
Worth noting with Indianapolis, it's where his BFF lives.
Yeah.
It's where
Oh, McAfee, yeah.
He can go.
Yeah.
He can go in studio now for.
So,
Yeah, if he wants to.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams both go to Indianapolis in free agency. Well, no, he's got to get cut and whatever Aaron Rodgers does. But he set it up where he can fucking do whatever he wants this offseason.
Yeah, but does McAfee swing is the real question.
He's got big-ass legs. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah.
That's true. But because he hangs out with Miles Teller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so him and Shailene Woodley.
Miles Teller, like, weirdly. Or is Aaron Rodgers the one kind of cucking himself there?
He is.
Yeah.
I don't know that Aaron Rodgers isn't asexual.
I think he is.
He might. I think he is asexual.
I don't care about
Yeah, I don't think he. I think he just wants a buddy.
Yeah.
Because they don't really see each other. You don't see any photos of them out.
No. Just hangs
Does
out.
he look like
She doesn't go to the games.
He doesn't seem like he's capable of affection. He's like he's like a hippie Patrick.
Yeah, he
Bateman.
hates his brother.
Like,
He hates his parents.
Well, he doesn't have any passion in life, clearly. And that's why he can't win in the playoffs. Because talent is not enough. He's turned into Conor McGregor now, right? He's got the fucking chip. He's got the money, and he doesn't have the drive anymore, and he's never going to win again. Frankly, it doesn't matter where he goes. He's not winning.
I don't.
in the
This
playoffs.
game was not his fault. This was special teams.
He's
a
12
block punt in the NFL.
That's
I
stupid.
think you said it before we went on the show. It was like a mid-major college.
Those were out there.
A blocked field goal is probably worse than that.
Well, and you would both in the
Yeah.
same fucking game.
you can't. Like, I would be mad at if that happened to my college team.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Like
had that in repeating possessions. It was a blocked field goal and then the blocked punt return for the touchdown.
But, that was Green Bay's. They were dead last in the league in fucking special teams.
The field goal was
the field goal was
the
right
end of
before
half.
halftime.
Or
Yeah.
three. They were like in the bottom 3 teams in special teams performance all year.
Also, don't forget about the 10 players on the field on the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Worst special teams unit in the league.
It's crazy.
It's an all-timer.
This one, look, Rodgers chokes in the playoffs. This one wasn't him. That was the fucking special teams.
What about the other 10 losses in the playoffs? He's 12-10 in his career in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, he also
That's
You
like
gotta put it on
that's
Rodgers.
pretty close to LeBron.
But
James
after watching the
territory.
Cowboys, he had McCarthy all those years, which is what the Cowboys fans are going through right now, and not being able to manage the clock properly.
Matt,
Why can't he do it now then?
I know.
Right there.
Well, that one wasn't
What's going
him.
on
Who?
with Rodgers? Why can't he win without McCarthy now?
Look, I don't know.
It's a little bit of both.
This game was not. He was 20 for 29. There was a goddamn blizzard. And look, Aaron Jones had 129 yards receiving. Devontae Adams had 90. I mean, it's not a terrible game out of it. I mean, fuck. I have no explanation for this game. I've never seen anything like it.
Can we talk
10
about
points.
Sean? Shut up. Can we talk about a real winner now? Jimmy Garoppolo, who is now 10-2 in his career and 4-0 in the playoffs when he throws 0 touchdowns.
0 touchdowns. He had 0 touchdowns in this. It was 11 for 19.
Yeah.
131 yards total, which is beyond. Like that's not even a freshman quarterback at a high school. 1 interception. The running game that you guys said was so daunting. That was their run team. 53 yards for their top guy. Deebo Samuel is getting 10 carries a game now for this team.
That has to, yeah. Mitchell's
He had 39 yards. They had 200 yards total as an entire
and
offense.
half
and
those
they
yards,
won a football game in the
half
playoffs.
those yards came at like the last drive.
I've never seen a worse performance out of a playoff team. I think the Rams fucking destroy this team.
Jimmy
next week.
Garoppolo is 5-1 in his career in the playoffs as a starter.
He gets carried, and it's fantastic.
I
If
think
the team
he's like-
overcomes Jimmy G.
And he's also, I'm going to go through Jimmy G's playoff stats, right? And a lot of it supports what you're saying. So career in 6 starts, 64 completions, 102 attempts. That's 62.75. That's at the lower end of okay.
Oh, yeah.
65% or higher is kind
That's
of the
at
standard.
Jalen Hurts type levels.
Yeah, for 730 yards in 6 games.
Jesus
Right? So
Christ.
just over 100 yards per game.
A game?
Yeah. His rating 70.3 in those games. 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
His rating
and
in
he's
this
5-1.
Doesn't matter.
His rating in this game was 57.1.
He's just so goddamn good looking that he
brilliant.
falls
He's
into
brilliant.
success.
Yeah.
And then he says, fuck the Packers after the game, as if he had anything to do with this game
Well, look,
whatsoever.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers talks a lot of shit. If Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, then the 49ers own Aaron Rodgers. He's 0-4 against them in
0-4
the
against the
playoffs.
49ers.
Everyone should love Jimmy G.
I think he's like a minimalist artist.
He's like John. He's like John Hamm's character in 30 Rock.
yeah.
He's in the bubble.
He just backs
good
into
looking.
everything.
Yeah.
He's so good looking people can't beat him. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You just wake up the next day and your wife's pregnant. With a kid.
No explanation for this team, this game. Because if you think about it, they had to come back just to even get into the playoffs. They were down 20.
17-0.
Yeah.
And it's not like
They
all
were down
these,
20. Was it the Rams? Was that
Yep.
the last game?
Yeah.
It's the Rams.
It's
Yeah,
not-
so now
it's-
they're going to play the Rams again.
It's not like all these playoff games have been super. Like this one was 13-10, but they put up 27 against Minnesota and then 37 against Green Bay, right? And even 20 against Kansas City when they got blown the fuck out in the Super Bowl that year. It's not like it's been Pittsburgh Steelers style 15-14 games or anything like that the whole time.
They can do it too, because like I mean, even that first quarter, Jimmy was kind of getting boned. Like he threw a perfect ball to Kittle across the middle that he should have taken 60 yards, and he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
This team, boy, that's left in the playoffs.
It's a great team. It's just the quarterback's not great.
You need a quarterback. You need running backs. You need receivers.
Could be a Nick Foles here.
I like him. He's not a show off. You know.
Doesn't try too much.
Yeah.
Who's
Just
their-
does the bare minimum. I respect that.
So Samuel's your top receiver, right? And I guess you would say Kittle, but he's a tight end. Kittle had 63 yards. Samuel had 44 yards receiving. I mean, what are we doing here? Charlie Warner is a guy that plays there.
What if they're the Oakland A's? What if they figured out a certain way to play a game where you can win most of the time, but it doesn't look good on paper?
Moneyball.
Is there a fucking world where that exists?
So
there
there
has
is-
to be because we're seeing it, right?
There is
We're seeing it.
like it's great defense and great special teams
It's
play.
Shanahan,
there's
man.
a stat in college football that Bill C, the guy who does S&P Plus, does. They don't do it for the NFL, I don't think, but it's called havoc created. Essentially, it's just chaos created,
Yeah.
right? So it's like turnovers, pressures, all that shit, like that.
like pass deflections, all that shit.
yeah. That could strike me as something the Niners excel at.
You've got to think they're probably pretty good at stuff like that, just based on the fucking defense they send after people.
Yeah.
And they just adapt. It's like, all right, this is going to be like the weather's going to be shitty. It's going to be cold as hell. Nobody's going to want to be here.
Yeah, but they don't want to
Let's
get
just
in.
play a really mucky,
They don't want
shitty game.
They don't want to get into a game in a dome though. Like in good weather against Kansas City, because they fucking they're going to score a couple points, but Kansas City's going to put up 30 plus every single time.
Well, they slung it on the Rams last time they were in a dome.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
and they're going to be right back there this Sunday.
All right, so let's go to my bookie right quick.
They also had the lead
Wait,
going
what's
into the
the-
fourth quarter against the
3.5.
Chiefs.
What's the first game?
3.5.
2 years ago.
The first game is going to be the Chiefs this weekend. So that's going to be the 3 o'clock game.
Well, let's go in order. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, we haven't spent nearly enough time talking about the Bengals.
No, so we'll get there now because we were at this game. A perfect example, so the Bengals only scored 19 points, right?
What was the mood like there?
It's a strange place to watch football games. So
That stadium sucks.
The stadium sucks.
The stadium sucks, and the Titans at home aren't. They were good at home in the regular season, but they lose games for no reason all the time.
Yep.
Like more than any team that has that amount of talent on it, they lose games for no fucking reason all the time.
Yeah.
It's a fake franchise.
It
They
is
shouldn't
like
exist.
it is, and it's very LA-ish where the crowd really wasn't that into it. There was more. It felt like there was more Bengals fans than there were Titans fans.
How many Tim Montana hats did you see?
None, because it's too expensive. So like when you go into
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
that's
the
the
fancy
crowd. That's
felt
perfect.
cowboy
yeah. So they,
Tim Montana,
Yeah, Tim Montana hats.
like
where-
our buddy Tim
Yeah,
Montana.
Yes, the like kind of fake cowboy hat,
Yeah.
like mix hybrid with a felt.
I think maybe you're
like-
thinking of somebody other than Tim because his cowboy hat looks like it's never been washed in 30 years.
But it's like halfway
disgusting.
between cowboy hat and fedora.
Oh,
And it
that's
cost-
true. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
costs
Yeah, yeah.
The hat he wore when he
$500.
was here.
Yeah, they're expensive. He just doesn't wash his.
Right.
yeah. But the Bengals in this game scored 6 more points than the 49ers, but Joe Burrow had 350 yards passing, and he had a rating of 93. The guy is unbelievable.
0 touchdowns, unfortunately, but yeah, no, he was great. He is the only reason the Bengals are here at
Yeah.
this point.
Yes, and he's a great
Well,
quarterback.
he's not the only reason. Jamar Chase,
Jamar
T.
Chase.
Higgins, Uzoma, and fucking Joe Mixon are all. I mean, look, even
Jamar Chase had 109 yards
Mixon
receiving.
had like 50 yards receiving.
T. Higgins had 96. Even fucking C.J. Uzma had fucking 7 catches for 71 yards in this game. Mixon had 6 for 51. I mean, he spread the ball all over the goddamn
Burrow got
place.
sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
First quarterback to ever win a game with 9 sacks.
Nothing
Yeah,
changing,
'cause
nothing
it-
changing there.
They don't have an O-line, and he's still able to win these fucking games. To me, this came down because we were right behind the Titans bench, right around the 50 for this game. It looked like Derrick Henry was timid and didn't want to get hurt again. He wasn't at full strength. Otherwise, this might have been a different game.
Nah, he's a big dude. They should have played him last week. a little bit at least, because it's going to take a guy like that a little bit of time to get warmed up. We know that from his history.
Yeah.
Well, they had a bye last week, so they couldn't.
Yeah, but they should have ran full contact drills or something. Like, got him up to game speed. You got to do something, man. This is the NFL.
You're out since Halloween. Like, it's tough. A.J. Brown had a good game.
They should have sent him to the to a riot somewhere or something like that.
Just to run through it.
I mean, the
Who's he
Bengals
running through, the rioters or the police with shields?
Yeah.
Either one.
Why not both?
Yeah.
It's more like a fucking what do you call it? Hulk situation at that point. It's just don't get near him.
Just chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals keep winning games though. At least the last two playoff games, where it's like this is a classic Bengals loss. Like the way they're winning games is like Tannehill throws an interception with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then Burrow gets the first down.
They got the nickname.
Tannehill had 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, he was awful.
Yeah, they didn't
Awful.
get the nickname Bungles because they were losing by 30 points. They got the nickname Bungles because they were up for 3.5 quarters and then lost on some stupid shit for years.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the franchise has psychologically recovered right. I don't think so yet. I think there's this Burrow guy's pretty good, but you could still feel a lot of hesitancy on behalf of the fan base.
Fans were
which is interesting.
crying. They were weeping. Dead serious.
But
they
they're
were
like-
weeping in the stands.
They're
like,
way ahead of schedule here. This
ahead.
team shouldn't be this good for another 2 years at least.
This is house money.
Yeah. It's like the Braves in 2020, 2019 and 2020.
They've
They
really
shouldn't-
never been here. What was it,
No.
1988 's the last time?
Yeah,
well,
when
they were in the
Boomer.
Super Bowl, 91, I think?
No, it was the 80s.
It was
But it was when the
It was
Niners
89.
pushed their shit
Yeah, it was like
in.
52-10 or
Yeah.
some shit like that
Yeah.
was the final score of that one.
It's gross.
No
Yeah.
good.
But with this, the Bengals got lucky, I think, with the matchups. Tennessee was the weakest 1 seed in a long time. So
Yeah.
that's a perfect team to go against. If you would have gone against the Chiefs, you're getting fucking house.
The Ravens a 1 seed last year or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, but they were
Maybe,
sure
but
the
he
Chiefs
was,
were the ones
but
that was
Jackson was on fucking fire.
Yeah,
too.
I think it's the year he won the
Coming
MVP.
coming into the playoffs,
Yeah.
he was on fire.
Whatever year the Titans beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was our first round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're left with Cincy versus KC, and then the Rams versus the 49ers. Boy, we'll get into this because the spreads are out. It's 7 going for obviously the Chiefs, and then this Rams game is at 3.5, which is low.
That's bait.
That's
Bait. Yeah, that's fucking dangerous.
I hope the 49ers win now.
Very bizarre.
I want to see
also.
the worst team in the Super Bowl.
It's also very bizarre to see Bengals Chiefs at over 54.5.
Yeah.
Because this is a more favorable matchup for a high scoring game than the last one was, and I know they scored 25 points in the last 12 seconds of the goddamn game, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be like a mid 20s to low 30s game here. Right?
Yeah.
Minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
So
The
what's
Chiefs can't stop anyone. I mean, the Chiefs defense, they have great pieces. If Matthew's out,
yeah, if he's out, they're
Fuck.
fucked. Yeah, I don't know. Sorensen steps up a lot too, though.
he did, but so the reason that the Chiefs, I think of Matthews in that game, speaking of havoc or whatever, that guy's a fucking ball hawk. He might get one. You know what I mean? And with Matthew out, you have that just Matthew's almost like the fucking hitter in the lineup who just at any point won't just hit a home run, but like a soul crusher.
Yeah.
Like Soler or
Yeah.
something. It's he only hit 230 during the regular season, but then he just obliterates something.
They
And
also had a corner go out when Josh Allen just trucked him.
Yeah.
I forget who it was, but he ran a dude over, and that guy was the reason I think Gabe Davis was open so much.
yeah.
Boston Joe's saying Bengals beat KC a couple weeks ago. I know, I watched
So did
that
the
game.
Bills.
But here's the they just didn't play. KC is just fucking lazy. Now they're only 2 games away from winning the Super Bowl. They'll turn it up now, and they turned it up yesterday.
7 points though, right?
Yeah,
7 points at last I saw plus 100.
yeah, 7 points.
Was it plus 245 money line or something like that?
I think 190 maybe,
I think it might be.
somewhere in there.
Okay.
But either way, look, is there a world where it's not Chiefs versus Rams in the Super Bowl?
I think the Niners could win.
I think
Yeah.
the Niners
Oh,
could
God.
win. I don't know about the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals' best shot is to try to hold. What you want to do is make them kick field goals early in the game, right? Because maybe Butker's on a high now, but he's been problematic in the past, and just limit their fucking scoring output early on. That's your only shot for the Bengals. And Burrow, remember the last time they played, Burrow had to throw for 450 yards and 4 touchdowns for them to win that game by 3 points.
He still has to.
Like
he's
he's definitely going to have to. So I don't know if they could do that again.
Love a Burrow prop.
Of over under
Yards. I don't know about touchdowns, but yards.
It'll probably
it'll be 360, 350, 360 probably.
That's high. I would say probably 315 or 310.
I would take the over on that all
Just
day.
because you think he's going to be down.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got it.
And attempts. Burrow attempts prop.
They don't have
100%.
the props for this game up there.
No, they'll set them.
That's usually later in
Yeah,
the
it's usually check around Thursday or Friday.
Well, they've
for
got the props
on
for
this.
the other game.
For players.
Hold on, let me get back to it. They have props for the 49ers game, 49ers Rams.
No
Bunch of
shit.
them. Not the player props yet. Well, they
Okay.
got some. Oh no, this is fucking golf. What the hell?
I feel like player
How
props
did that
come
get
out
in
later in
there?
the week, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it's usually Tuesday or Thursday, or no, it's Wednesday after the final medical report. So Thursdays where we could address this.
The golf bets are just my plug-in.
Yeah,
right? It's from
exactly.
being next to him and the fucking computer's listening to me.
But we'll make our picks. We'll see if Urlacher's coming back this week, and we'll make our picks for this game and go over these prop bets because
Yeah.
there'll be a fuck ton on this.
Just tell them I have a pick for the Farmers.
What's that?
Just tell them I have a pick for the Farmers Insurance Open.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
out
yeah.
last week because he was doing a golf tournament of his own with Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Who's based on the fucking footage I watched is pretty goddamn good.
He is
actually.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I did not expect that, to be honest.
Torrey Pines this weekend.
He just didn't seem like the kind of guy that would give a fuck about golf. Although he is kind of a studious, patient dude.
He's
so
a
maybe.
very studious, patient guy. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
But it looks like it might come down to our two teams. So I picked Chiefs preseason. You guys picked Rams.
Yep.
That appears to be what it's headed. The only thing that, and I hate the fucking 49ers more than life. I hate this team. It's so goddamn
Why?
gross. It reminds me of that Tampa team where it was just.
Well, it reminds me of the Rams team from what we watched against the Patriots a couple
Yes,
years ago.
dude, it was-
It's the worst Super Bowl that's ever been played.
It's terrible. And but the only thing you can say about this is the third time you're playing the Rams. You have all the footage in the world. You've already played them.
Or beat them.
Twice.
Yes. So
They beat them twice.
It's one of those things where it's like, hey, dude, there
Already
is
beat
a
team 3
shot.
times.
There is a shot. I give the
to beat
Bengals.
them 3 times.
I give the Bengals no shot against the Chiefs. With this, I actually give the the 49ers a shot. It's the third fucking time you're playing.
Beating them the third time, though, it's asking
That's
a
a
lot.
tough hill to jump.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
It is.
I mean, I like the Rams even more.
Yeah. My dream scenario is that the Rams beat the 49ers and they go to the Super Bowl. And then Stan Kroenke dies in the week before the Super Bowl, and then the Rams win the Super Bowl, and he doesn't get to see it.
Yeah.
That's my dream scenario.
Because he took the team out of St. Louis?
Yeah. So that'd
now,
be fun.
is there any version of that where some awnings fall down on top of Jackson Mahomes at the Super Bowl?
Boy.
Yeah.
That'd be dope, too.
That would be perfect, actually.
Can we talk about
No.
his girlfriend spraying down Chiefs fans when it's 4 degrees with champagne? That has been circulating all day today.
From the heated club suite?
Yeah.
Oh, Pat Mahomes'
Well,
wife?
Yeah.
I think it was Jackson Mahomes' girlfriend.
I don't
No, it was
Mahomes
Pat Mahomes'
doesn't
wife.
have a
Our
girlfriend.
girlfriend. It
Oh,
was
he
Pat-
doesn't?
Yeah.
Is he gay?
Yes.
Oh.
He looks gay.
He's
Can we say that he's gay? He's got to be gay.
He's out. He's not like super open about it on Instagram, like whatever. But yeah, he's out. He's an out gay man.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Now this is starting
Now it
to make
makes
sense.
sense.
Okay.
It's still none of it.
So that was
I know a
Mahomes'
lot of
wife
gay
who was
people.
spraying down?
Yeah, she is
No, his
equally-
homosexuality has nothing to do with how punchable he is.
She is also equally as bad.
Oh, she's awful too.
Yeah.
because she's a searcher on Twitter.
That's gotta make you think. I mean, that I don't want to project onto any of you, but that makes me think that Patrick Mahomes is also a cunt. To be honest, because I don't know anybody who the two people they hang out with the most are just absolute raging cunts, and they're also not a cunt.
I don't think he's a cunt. I think
he's too nice.
a coward.
Yeah.
Right,
I think he's a
like-
pushover.
Not on
Yeah.
the field though.
no, not
No,
on the
no,
field,
no,
but
no.
off the
He's
field.
a fucking killer on the field.
I think he's too nice, and he's just like there's that one. I don't know if you guys can find it, but there's this one TikTok that his brother and
We've
his
played it,
wife
like,
do
5
together.
times,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he's just sitting there like,
But I
Oh, the
think
one
that's what
we're at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives him his power, though, right? He has all that like pent up aggression and rage that he just puts onto the field because his entire life
yeah.
is just him hating everything about
But
it.
maybe that's a strategy then, because he could easily make both of those people go away.
Yeah,
This is that's what I can't figure out.
Like Aaron Rodgers.
You can't go to your brother or the head of the organization and say, hey, man, if my brother walks down to this fucking field to do one more goddamn TikTok dance, throw him the fuck out of here. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Kobe did it. You weren't allowed near fucking Kobe Bryant
And
on
yes,
that goddamn court.
it's the mother of your child, but she's got to go.
She's got to go.
She's got to go.
She reminds me of Russell Wilson's first piece. Remember the
Not Ciara.
No,
Remember how they went on a whole fucking tour about how they're reborn virgins again?
Yeah.
I bet you got 3 kids. What are you talking about?
Sure
Yeah.
know.
Mahomes
To be fair, though, Russell Wilson could
He may have been
fuck
a
every
virgin.
woman every day for the rest of his life and would still give off nothing but virgin vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's going to raise Future's child, though.
he is. Somebody has to.
Yeah, well, one of his children.
Somebody's got to raise one of Future's 9 children.
Yeah.
It's 9, right?
It's better
He's got
than
9.
fucking
With
Bradley
8 different
Cooper's
women or
kid getting
something?
raised
Yeah.
by Kanye.
Yeah. Fucking A,
No,
dude.
Pete Davidson's raising those kids now.
Pete Davidson's
No,
now in charge.
Kanye's raising Cooper's kid, and then Pete is raising Kanye's kid.
It's like an exchange program.
Yeah. That's the way we're treating it.
Mahomes should be walking around, though, with, like, Rihanna. Like,
Yes.
I don't think he's into that shit though.
He's not.
Like the
but
He's
I mean,
got-
he's white
went
trash.
to tech.
He's
Yeah.
he's half black and shit, but he's super white trash.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I also think
Like
he's-
who else fucking pressures Whataburger into building a Whataburger?
He's
area?
just so good, though.
yeah, he's great. He's not good. He's
he,
great.
He had a Tiger Woods situation with his dad, and he wants to do like the opposite of what Tiger Woods did. Like, because his dad was an MLB pitcher.
Just be with one woman the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think his dad was like kind of a fuck boy, and he just doesn't want to do that. Whereas Tiger Woods is like, this is how I do it, apparently.
But that's the wrong woman to be with.
Yes.
Like Giselle, like a perfect example was Giselle during that game yesterday. They had the camera on her in her box, right? She was not even paying attention. She was getting food or something. They had literally had to come and tap her on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, can you turn around because the camera's here?" And she was just like, "All right, yeah, cool, I guess." But all the kids are here. Put the camera on the kids.
She's also a bigger star than Tom Brady. She makes more money.
Yeah, but like that's if
She's
you're
the breadwinner.
Patrick Mahomes, who signed a $500 million contract.
They don't need bread,
He owns the
Right.
the Royals, and he's getting fast food chains to fucking magically appear in the States. You could date anyone. You could marry anyone. Why this fucking girl? She's not even that hot. That's what's crazy to me.
Not in any way.
No.
If you add the personality on top of that, it's way worse.
Spraying the champagne all over. It's 4 degrees.
Yeah, she's not. She's a 1 out of 7. I'm not even gonna put her on a fucking 10-point scale.
I'm not even mad about the champagne. I'd be fine with it.
Yeah. Also, it was like
It's
45 degrees.
Celebration.
It wasn't that cold at that game.
But you're not even in the Super Bowl. Like, you still have another game Sunday.
Okay, man.
You've got another game next week. What are you doing?
Every day of her life is winning the Super
Yep.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So she pops a bottle no matter what.
she
Yeah.
wakes up and is just.
She got creamed by the right guy.
Yeah. God, who is the best one, though? There was still one. It was a volleyball player. She got creamed by, was it Matt Leinart and then somebody else? It's 2 of the top, like, athletes ever, and you're just like, oh, my God, you're taken care of for the rest of your life. Bryn something is her name.
Okay, we'll have to ask Liner if he comes back on the show.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, who'd you
Cream pie?
Yeah, who'd you fucking cream
I just
out,
wish
dog?
we could ask MLK who he cream pied.
Well, the FBI has all that. So.
They do have all that.
Yeah, but you can't trust the goddamn FBI.
No, you can't.
Yes, sir.
They probably made half of that shit up.
Yeah, probably true.
I want to look up this chick because it's something crazy where you're like, oh, what the fuck?
I'd say more like Matt Leinart, baby mama than wife.
Yeah, you go baby mama on that one?
Yeah, because he's not married to her.
Yeah, because he has a wife.
Who did
And he
Matt
has
Leinart
kids with her.
cream?
Yeah.
Who did he cream pie? Bryn Cameron, that's her name. And she's also got a kid with Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
So she kept it all LA across the board and was just like, hey, rich, she's so rich, it's crazy.
Honestly, that's a fun family reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake Griffin is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blake's funny as hell.
That's
Those
cool, too.
fucking
Blake's
Matt Leinart's
Yeah,
awesome. He was on the show. He was
Blake's
awesome.
actually funny. Like, there's athlete funny, but
Yeah.
he does stand up. He's pretty.
Leinart's a super cool guy, and I'd love to party with him. But I would probably watch Blake Griffin do stand up, for real. He's
There's
funny
footage.
as shit. That commercial he made. Who was it for? Wasn't Kia or some weird brand, but the ball spinning on his finger, and then the ball just stops and sits there, and he just looks straight into the camera the whole time. It's one of my favorite commercials of all time.
Yeah, but
And he's won Blake of the Year a number of times too on Barstool.
Oh.
Like 3 separate years he's won Blake of the Year. So
Wow, Bortles
Okay.
is getting crushed.
that's. I mean, he may get
Wow.
fucking into the Hall of Fame
Wow.
just on that.
That
I
sucks.
think it's based off like a phone call or something.
Yeah, it is. It's not. There's no real metric for it at all.
No. But after the game, we headed out with Jason Rao, friend of the show, obviously. who got us reservations at a bar to watch the UFC fights.
Yeah, it was fun.
Because it's now $74.99 to watch a fucking UFC fight now.
Yeah, we actually saved the company money. Me and Giorgio went out, watched the fights at Woodrow's.
That was exactly what I was going to ask you guys. Giorgio, what did you end up doing for the fight? Where'd you go? And how was it? You left Dan. You left Delco.
Well, if you listen to Dan, we stood outside Woodrow's in a line for about 45 minutes. We watched the last fight of the undercard and the first 2 fights of the main card in line, which was pretty fun. There were some people from the Northeast behind us. Okay. And there was a girl who thought she was way too hot to be standing in line.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, I'm too hot to be in line.
Was
right
she?
now.
Was it true or false?
Nah, she wasn't that hot.
I
Did
like
you do a
little,
USA Today fact check on her?
Little Woodrow's is a fine bar, but a legless hobo is too sexually attractive to be waiting in line for that bar.
I guess
for any amount of time.
So every bar in Austin that night, Saturday night, was really stingent about their like capacity. I guess like the fire marshal was going around.
Yeah.
So like they're like, it's
Why?
one in, one out.
Why don't they go inspect?
Was it COVID? Was it COVID?
Not COVID. He's just like
Yeah.
the fire marshal was just making his rounds and he was fine.
Why don't they go inspect and see if any of the winter shit has been upgraded yet?
Right.
Yeah.
Spend your time on that so we don't flood like 30% of the residential homes in Texas got flooded last year. Let's try to avoid that and not worry about too many people in a fucking bar.
Right. Like I've been to Woodrow's and it's been shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
You can't move.
And
for a
it's
UFC
open
fight.
in the front. You could easily get out of that place.
It
It's not
was-
like it's.
The most
was
simple
wide
bar
open.
to escape
Yeah.
from a fire.
Jesus.
Yeah.
fucking
So was
Christ.
it? Was there a lot of people out?
There's
a decent amount.
Yeah, decent amount of people. I think we have to give credit where credit's at because the best athlete of the evening was Dan Register in his game time decision making. He made some last minute bets that came in so big for him, and I'll just let him talk about
Really?
this real quick. Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
What did you end up betting on?
All the winners.
On UFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the hard part about this card to me, and this is the hard part about jacking up the price, is to me there was only a couple name fights on this thing.
Right.
And if you're gonna jack up the price, I'll pay $74.99 for McGregor.
Like before the actual, like the card was great. It was it delivered like through and through. Like every fight was awesome. But like, yeah, the names on the card, when you look at it and you're like $75, that's a little steep.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
talking names, Daniel, the first fight of your parlay was an Nurmagomedov. That's a name everybody knows. It's
that's
not the
really
one
not
every-
a
It's
household
not.
name.
No,
Giorgio.
No, Giorgio, it's not. It sounded like you just coughed on something.
Hey,
Before
before we go full penny on UFC, can you, Giorgio, back there, look up Blake Griffin's parents and put that picture on the screen?
Yeah, he's a black ginger from Oklahoma.
yeah, we all know what they look like. Have you never seen
But
them?
his mother is like it seems like an odd couple.
Full ginger.
He's also
Yeah.
got a fucking cell phone on his belt.
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma. Yeah,
Is that real?
yeah, that's true.
They're
I've-
20
I-
years behind. Yeah, he's got a Nokia on his fucking.
He probably has a beeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put that picture up there. But by the way, we're not talking shit. I just think this
Happy
is
couple.
very bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know how the kid turns out to be 6'11".
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Well,
like they're
both kids.
The,
Yeah,
the,
like- yeah.
the bizarre part is what they produced.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. These are two nerds.
And he turned out
Well, he was a
good-looking
college
and-
basketball player, and she was a cheerleader. So they're not like they're
he-
not
man,
not
they look-
athletes, but they're both.
Well, they are old as shit there.
They
Yeah.
look square as fuck. I guess.
What'd you think? he
Show him
fucking-
young, dude.
He didn't shrink 15 fucking inches.
Pull her up at 19.
Yeah, and his brother played at Oklahoma too.
Tell me what she looks
He
like.
did at the same time.
Was he any good?
He was
They're
good for
fine,
college.
yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty imposing together.
Yeah.
Okay. So Giorgio, back to the UFC here, real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the Francis. I wanted to see a knockout.
Really?
The over under was 2.5.
So-
I wanted to see a knockout.
Well, at what part of the night did you start watching the fights?
We got there. Pretty.
We saw like
Pretty early?
two undercard fights and then into the main card.
Yeah.
So you watched all the main card. You watched Michelle Pereira.
Yes.
You watched him do a forward roll and heel kick him in the top of the head.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, but what I came for was
Francis.
Francis and Cyril Gahn because I wanted to see a knockout. Like you have two heavyweights in there that are supposed to be the.
Why did you? What got your hypes up for this fight? I guess is my question right now. The thing I'm asking you is like, what made you think there was going to be a crazy knockout? in
It's
this
great-
fight?
raw
great
power.
question,
It's
raw
Francis
power.
being just a monster.
Exactly.
And
that's
knocking dudes dead.
And by the way, so because before we went on air, I think you were talking about the pay-per-view buys, and you said it was around $200,000.
About 500,000, I think, is what the number I could find about pay-per-view buys.
That's better.
I heard
than
it was
That's pretty solid.
200,000, but
500,000
yeah,
solid.
500,000 is not bad if that's the case.
What's the number one ever? 1.2 with Connor and
No,
Khabib or something?
2.3.
2, yeah,
Oh,
it's
what
over
was that
2.
one?
Khabib, Connor 2, I think.
No, they only fought
fought
once.
Only fought once.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shit.
So was it that one?
Yeah, I think it was that one.
2018.
Yeah. But either way, with Francis, with your heavyweight guy, you want to see knockouts. Otherwise, he's not going to get paid. He keeps bitching about not getting paid.
We saw something that I found awesome.
He's not fun enough to watch, though.
It looked like
I'm a casual
Right.
fan.
But like Francis, nobody knew he had this like in his belt.
It looked like a middleweight fight where two dudes were pretty technically skilled fighting each other. It's not what I expected out of this fight.
Me neither.
He like usually even people on Twitter and everybody were like, "Oh, second round, Francis is gassed," and then 3, 4, 5, he just gets into wrestling, which he's never done in his life. Like he just started training wrestling.
I mean, he's got an immediate advantage because he's a goddamn Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that-
he's a giant man. Can you imagine if you get him in a rear naked choke? What are you really going to accomplish?
or
there?
just that dude just laying on you
Yeah.
with his hips
Yeah.
and everything. Even his wrestling was pretty entertaining. Like he literally picked up Cyril Gahn's leg and then power bombed him essentially. Like that was cool as hell.
But if you want to get paid, you've got to have big knockouts. You've got to have,
for sure,
it comes down to a 10-second clip on Twitter now. That makes somebody
Yeah.
super fucking
So let me
famous.
and he
Just
has
so-
done that his entire career. But like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to grind it. When a guy's like Cyril Gahn is far and away probably a more like well-rounded MMA fighter. So when you go against somebody who's probably better than you and more skilled than you, you just got to dig deep and just do what you got to do to win. And I mean, Usman's done it his entire career, but then
Yeah, and this is what the difference is, and brings me to a great point that you brought up, Usman. Ross, you're not mad about the performance inside the ring. You're mad about the performance outside of the ring. He doesn't speak good English. He doesn't wear flashy clothes. There's no drip on the man. He does nothing interesting. I guess he's in the new Jackass movie punching people in a cup, but like, why is that not shouted more? Like, the man
Yeah.
is boring.
Boring.
And that's why you don't like him. And he complains about money because he wants to go and box. And the UFC has a strict policy of if you're going to do a cross-promotion event, it is grappling only.
Yeah.
There is no striking if you're a signed UFC athlete in a cross-promotional event, you are not allowed to strike. So
It's like my wife telling me that I'm allowed to cheat on her, but only with dudes.
well,
Like a grappling only. So like
Yeah.
no one's watching that.
don't be homophobic. dude.
I'd
what's-
watch it, Bob. Don't
know.
sell yourself short. I would pay for
don't
that.
knock it till you try it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob, let me describe a scenario.
Okay.
You and your wife have not had sex in a long time, and some sort of man butthole is becoming more and more appeasing. Or you
Prefer
have
cloaca,
an
to be honest.
extremely effeminate gay man who's like, I'll give you the best blowjob of your life.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Why, how did we get here?
I just think that
How
grappling.
didn't we get here earlier?
Just think that grappling is a
Gateway drug.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. That's why he's. This is really just projected concern for you now. That
I
you're in
guess we'll
grappling.
see, right?
Yeah.
Like
You'll find out.
I've only been wrestling
Rolling
for
around,
a
you're
few
sweaty,
weeks.
and all of a sudden, a man's inside you.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the Moreno Figgy fight? The
Hey,
co-main
wait,
event?
no. Before we move on, Francis Ngannou, is he going to sit out a year now? Because
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Well, he
is
is
his contract
because
up?
It's not even that. It's his fucking knee's gone. Like he blew out. He hurt himself real bad.
So Cyril Gahn actually hit him with a little knee bar. There's some image of it that's going around. So like, talking about some grappling. he
Almost submitted him.
Yeah, almost submitted him, blew Francis's knee out.
But there's no there's no injured reserve on UFC necessarily that would prevent that contract. Like as of it's a year from today that he's out of his contract or 2 fights. Right? It's one of those two things. And I don't think unless this happens all the time where Dana tries to set up a fight and both camps technically have to agree. You can't force somebody into a fight. Right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
he can just sit out for a year and fucking leave UFC altogether, which is if I were him, that's exactly what I would
They're gonna
And
have
if
like
his-
an interim belt tomorrow.
If
though.
his
Yeah.
knee is fucked up,
Yep.
like you say
His
it
knee
is,
is fucked up.
then that's a year anyways.
May as well take it.
You might as
Yeah.
well take it
so they'll
because
strip him.
Yep.
He'll be a free agent. He'll
he
probably
wants to
go
move over to boxing and fight
Tyson Fury.
Yes. Which he would get fucking destroyed
Would
by.
not
Tyson
end well
Fury.
for
He
him.
also said that Tyson Fury would destroy me in boxing. I think he just sees the money that's involved in it and thinks that he can hang.
He'll take a
but-
beating for.
I'd
25
pay
million.
for it.
Here's what I have to say.
I'd pay for it.
This fight wasn't interesting. So Francis Ngannou is part of 2 of the most boringest heavyweight fights of all time. This one and the one against Derrick
Oh, okay.
Lewis.
No.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
That is the greatest fight of all time, Giorgio.
Fuck
Derrick
outta here.
Lewis landed like 4 leg kicks and won a fight. That was
This is the 49er. Like you love dirty, awful shit like this.
Well, I also won like $500 because like it was 5-1 on Derrick Lewis, and I took Derrick Lewis as like a flyer. And
That's a good question too. Is
Ngannou didn't throw a
if
single
Ngannou
strike.
does fight again sometime in the next 5 months, is it going to be Derrick Lewis?
yeah, who is it?
Derrick Lewis is
No.
currently fighting Tai Tuivasa, that'll be a fun fight because they might both do shoeies.
That might be the fight that we thought Francis versus Derrick Lewis was going to be, because I don't think Tai Tuivasa pulls any kind of punches. I think he comes out swinging, and if he clips Derrick's going to get angry and come after him.
Yeah.
So I think that could be super interesting. What we're waiting
Only
on,
UFC fight that will happen with Francis again, it's either John Jones or he leaves.
I think we learned all we needed to learn from watching those two fight, that John Jones would pick apart both those men. I think we're just waiting. We're waiting on his debut to the division. They need Stipe Miocic to then take out John Jones first. He is the only one in that division that has the size, the speed, the wrestling capabilities to nullify John in any way and give him any kind of problems. If they don't rely on Stipe or whatever, they hate him for some reason. I don't know what they're going to do with
Well,
him
they don't
in
wanna
the
pay him
division.
either.
Yeah, they don't want to pay him either. So at what
The
point?
reason they hate Stipe is because Stipe is he doesn't care. He'll fucking take 2 years off.
Yeah.
He
He's a
doesn't give
firefighter,
shit.
you
Yeah,
know?
he
He's
doesn't
a fire-
give
he's a
shit.
fire-
Him and
Firefighter.
Dakota just.
Him and Dakota are the same ilk. Dead serious. Like when you have a guy who enjoys what they do in real life, anyways.
Podcast.
Yeah, then the rest of it doesn't fucking matter. So like,
He is just Dakota who fights.
at what point though does Dana White have to start paying these fucking people to get the best matchups? Because I mean,
Never.
No, you
Here's
don't.
what's going to
You
happen.
don't.
He's going to go the way of McDonald's. He's just going to replace him with machines.
Yeah.
Just fucking robots fighting each other.
Next guy up. That's Dana's logic. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay you. Next
Exactly.
guy up.
It's who is the next guy in line, and the UFC as the brand, it still solidifies itself as the best MMA promotion in the world, where you have the best quality athletes in the world. And so as long as it has that caveat, it's still going to be on the top, and Dana's going to be able to control things. Like, you need a lot of the top guys to all simultaneously sit out, and I just don't see that ever happening.
Did you say that they're like the Oakland A's of fighting, kind of?
No,
where
the
they're-
Pittsburgh Pirates.
The
yeah.
Pittsburgh
But,
Pirates.
to some degree, Oakland as well. Yeah.
Here's the thing with that. That has great returns, I guess, if you're like in baseball.
If you just care about money.
162, whatever.
Yeah.
But it has zero returns in the seats.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody
Yeah.
shows up to those fucking games.
Yeah, I mean, think about it from an economic standpoint. You might save 20% of your bottom line per fight, right, by not paying these athletes what they should be getting paid. But you can increase your take by 150, 200% by having athletes who are super motivated because they're about to get $10 million for winning that fight.
Yeah.
So they're going all out. All
Yeah.
out. They're spending like fucking $500,000 on PR out of their fucking $10 million purse that's coming up just to make sure everybody buys that shit.
No, these people are hyped about 50 Gs.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, yeah.
he's just doing it wrong at this point.
Okay, let's say, but also, I mean, back to what Dan says. If both these guys took home over $1 million in the main event, they took home close to that in the co-main event. You saw no real promotion from any of those four fighters. You see no storylines. You see,
I don't want to. I don't want to hear it from
Ah.
Ngannou. I don't want to hear it from Ngannou. I don't want to hear it from Cejudo.
Brandon
I don't wanna hear
Moreno is low key like a star now.
Wasn't Cejudo in his corner?
no,
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 Cejudo was
yeah,
in
and-
Figgy's
yeah,
corner.
Figgy's corner, yeah.
which I was super happy with, because I think him being in that corner helped Figgy out so much, because Figgy never chased after him. Figgy didn't overcommit himself. It was a little bit more boring, but it was a very solid game plan. And I think
was awesome.
Good. He can follow in
5
Cejudo's
rounds.
footsteps and win fights and never get paid.
and never get paid. The most noticeable thing.
The fight was awesome. Like it was
They won
the
fight-
most
they-
entertaining fight.
They both
Like
won an extra $50,000 due to the fight of the night bonus.
yeah, it was that was a good fight for sure.
But afterwards, what's his nuts? Dana White didn't put the belt on Francis.
no,
by the
he
way.
did not, and he was not at the press conference either.
because he's a sore loser.
Yeah,
He's a baby.
Explain that to the audience. Why is he a loser?
Because his guy didn't win, so
He
he's
was
gonna-
going for Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to pay Francis. He doesn't want to deal with Francis, and he threw a tantrum and stormed out and didn't want to deal with it. That's how Dana White faces his problems. He doesn't.
Did Francis say anything about it after the fight?
Yeah, Francis is just like there's obviously it's more than just pay. It's about the respect, and it's like it's just not going to happen.
I mean,
for you,
that's
dude.
true.
Because we were at a
That's-
bar and I didn't get to hear any of the after comments. It was loud as shit in there. So
Yeah,
Like, how would you feel if your performance, and this is why college athletes have been on this for so long, your performance is making let's just call it even numbers, it's $1 billion, and you're getting 100,000. And it's your performance that's the entertainment part. Like, yeah, all the infrastructure exists because these other people invested, but was actually and no other fucking professional sport does it even approach the fucking rate of return for the athlete to the how much money the industry makes, and than the UFC. Like, and nowhere is even fucking close.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not like it's the promoter paying the money. It's sponsorship dollars, just like every other fucking sport.
Right.
Like, that money exists. It's sponsorships and ticket sales or whatever, merch, whatever it is. All that money, it's the same thing.
Devil's avocado to this, though. Besides boxing, what other martial arts sport or fighting sport brings in a large revenue and the fighters have good pay, outside of boxing?
Bellator. I mean, they don't get the same reach that fucking UFC does, but
They got that Showtime deal. They pay more.
they pay way more.
Not way more, roughly
But
more.
do you guys watch Bellator?
Ryan Bader,
I don't either.
Ryan Bader is making like
AJ
15
McKee,
mil a
that's it.
year over there.
I mean,
I'll
you're just
watch
saying
it.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
everybody fucks them. So
Yeah.
everybody fucks the fighters. So who cares?
Because I watched an interview with Mike Tyson over the weekend, who said he still has not been paid by Triller. Logan Paul said he has still not been paid by Mayweather. It's just a fight problem at this point, all the way
I
around.
think boxing is laundering, right?
Yes.
I mean, we've all known that's just been a racket, like our entire lives. Right? We know
Combat
boxing has been
sports-
corrupt since bootlegging.
Yeah, but I think we can probably just sum this up to all combat sports at this point.
Going back to like the Depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but these sports weren't around then. It's just boxing. Boxing
Prize
and
fighting,
NASCAR
yeah.
is how they just funneled all that like mob money through, and it's stayed there since till now.
But
And
there's
like,
one exception, and that's Conor McGregor, and Dana's going to juice that fucking orange for as long as he can until no one cares anymore, because Conor's going to keep losing.
I don't think anybody cares now.
they do.
They
The
do.
numbers,
They do.
the numbers
I know.
don't lie,
I
and
know.
it's stupid,
But
and
why?
I don't get it. I don't
Why?
get it.
And the first thing they asked Dana this week during the press conference
What's
leading up to
next?
the fight, what's the next fight for Conor McGregor? When is he coming back? He's coming back this summer to fight.
Because
yeah.
he's an influencer. Conor McGregor is an online influencer, and that's what we want. And that's what I mean with performances outside the ring. He found a way to get popular. He found a way to be a Logan Paul, and now people care about him, even though he sucks. Hasn't won a fight in half a decade. It's ridiculous.
Except
crazy.
for that Cowboy
The
Cerrone
Cerrone one,
fight.
that's the
The
one.
last fight he won was September of 2016.
Yeah. And Sugar
The last fight he's won of any kind, including with the old man in the fucking bar.
Sugar Sean O'Malley, by the way, though, is the one who's doing it right outside the ring. That guy's got a gajillion followers and all this shit.
And fighting nobody.
Fighting nobody, but like sweet knockouts, and he's fun to watch, and you're like,
Yeah.
awesome, let's go.
Yeah, it's great.
Honestly, he kind of has a cheat code. It's like, I can just go literally knock out bums, and you're still gonna pay me.
He's
Like, this
essentially
sounds
fighting
great.
hobos, yes.
Yeah, this sounds.
That's why bum fights did so well on DVD.
Yeah,
You knew somebody was getting knocked out.
you hang out with like a lot of Miami influencers, and
Yeah.
you hang out with the Paul brothers. You hang out with fucking, I don't know, like Riff Raff, and
Yeah.
There's a 0% chance that I will ever watch Conor McGregor fight again, except for a clip on the internet. Like, I'll never pay to see that guy fight ever again.
you'll be back.
You'll be back.
No.
We're all
I
back.
haven't- I
we
haven't
all
paid-
come back for that shit.
No, I haven't wanted to watch him fight since I saw him get dominated by Khabib. I haven't wanted to see any of his fights. It was boring. The shoulder thing he did against Cowboy was kind of interesting, but that fight against his next two after that, just fucking.
Against Dustin.
What if he fights somebody that
Yeah.
you like, though?
No, I don't hate him. I don't want to see him get knocked out. I think he's fucking useless. Like, I don't want to see a fat blind kid take batting practice.
Right, but what if they run back like
I do.
don't you? What if
I
like
do.
Connor
It'd be kinda
fights
fun.
Max again? Like if Max Holloway Connor 2 happens, I like
Max
everyone's-
Holloway would beat the fucking Christ out of him, dude.
He already lost to him, but yeah, he moves up to 155. I think you pay for that.
I mean,
fight.
let's see. Conor is
No.
still an interesting fighter. He can't compete at the world caliber level, which is where it's interesting because there used to be this caveat that Conor was the greatest and you want to watch him because he was the greatest thing out there. He's not anymore, but he's still entertaining. And like a fight against Nate Diaz, a fight against Max Holloway, I think would be interesting.
It's not entertaining to me to see a guy with a broken a leg in 2 separate pieces sitting on the ground being like, hey, your wife's DMing me. That's not interesting.
But what if he
Anyway.
breaks the other leg in the next fight? That's
Yeah.
what I'm tuning into.
No, if he had broken his leg and then ripped his leg off and stabbed Dustin Poirier with it, then I would watch the next one.
Okay.
But barring something really, truly interesting happening like that, no fucking
he
way.
just refuses to learn how to grapple.
His outside the cage antics are pretty bad, Dan. I agree with you that, and they kind of have tarnished him.
I'm not going to reward that nonsense with my fucking time and money.
No,
I will. I love it. I love all of it.
No,
And there
that's-
are just as interesting fighters who can give you the same product inside the ring. There's just not any who can give you the same product outside the ring, which sucks.
My wife will rip on me for making fun of her for like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever the fuck she watches. But she's like, hey, dude, you realize all your sports, that's all you guys talk about is the fucking drama and the bullshit that goes behind it. The game is almost secondary to the other bullshit that leads up to it and afterwards that you're waiting on.
Half the fun of Vegas when we were there for the Poirier-McGregor fight was talking shit to Irish fans.
Yeah.
This is why this whole conversation is why we're going to start our own professional wrestling
Wrestling
organization.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but it's the title sponsor is going to be Hard as Fuck Seltzer.
Yep.
And it's going to be wrestling. And it's going to be, we're going to jump the shark in episode fucking 1.
I mean, it was my childhood dream to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to
You're
be
living it now.
It's going to
Pro
be
wrestling.
Florida man style backyard wrestling, but without any of the real stunts. You know, we're
Yeah.
not doing any real shit. But guns, you know, LPs, little people,
Yeah.
you know.
Midgets.
We're going to put whomever is going to war. Right now, we'd have a Russian and Ukrainian guy fighting.
Yeah.
And that
Love
would
that.
be, that's it. Like, remember the guy with the fucking, the Iranian dude from back in the day?
Yeah.
Remember the guy
totally
yesterday in Nashville who told us that you can rent midgets to build a house for
Oh
you?
no, it's not rent midgets to build a house. It's a construction company, and everybody that works there is a
midget, yeah.
dwarf midget or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Honestly, that kind of economically makes sense because if you had to like change your construction schedule, your tasks for an LP, it'd just be easy enough to staff the whole thing with LPs.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Is it LP derogatory?
No, little people is not.
No.
LP is.
I'm pretty
pretty
sure
normal.
we could also just go outside Philadelphia to Midgetville with like a dog catcher net.
It's a
and just
secret
kinda-
city.
Yeah,
He
just
did-
to round them up.
The guy that told us this did say that they have a lot of ladders, like more than you would expect.
Yeah, he goes, dude, they have a full truck full of ladders just
I would hope
because
so.
of yeah.
Well, it's a lot of it's a lot of the smaller ladders.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
to reach
step stools
to
too.
reach normal shit.
Right,
yeah.
right.
obviously.
Now, can we get a donkey, like, or not a donkey, but a
I'll get you a
gorilla
donkey.
to throw barrels at them as they climb up the ladders?
They'd have to be Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to Italy for it.
I'm wanting bees. I'm wanting somebody covered in honey, somebody covered in something else. and
This
I
is
want-
my
I want
girl
bees.
too. We've seen this movie before. We don't need to see that again. No.
No.
No bees.
And by the way, so we'll close out the show because all of our listeners always bitch that we don't cover women's sports enough. Kansas State's Ayoka Lee scored 61 points in a game yesterday, setting the NCAA record for highest scoring woman in a game.
Show's over.
Congratulations.
Wait, Ross. A single woman scored 70 points in a game.
61 points she scored. And Scott Van Pelt last night when we got off the flights, because I turned on SportsCenter when I went home, was like, we were going to lead with this story. And then the Chiefs-Bills game happens. And it was like,
Is that what
yes,
happened,
dude.
Scott?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Come on, buddy.
That's exactly what happened.
Probably
Dan,
is what
Can we
happened.
stop pretending?
I mean, that probably is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, on ESPN, there's still this story about some hockey player getting a racial slur yelled at him was in until this morning, and that happened like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. With the guy's brother in
Patrick
the minor
Subban
league game.
is
yeah.
like, or whatever his name is, he's embarrassed for the sport, I think is what he said.
The guy who was in question, by the way, he said he was making flexing noises flexing things at the dude rather than monkey gestures.
I find it really hard to believe that especially, I understand that America and the West in general are different than some of these places, but even a guy from a Slavic country would think it's okay just to toe-to-toe with a guy and like a black dude and just make monkey gestures.
I actually totally disagree.
No, I
with
know
that.
they would do it in private for sure.
Oh,
They're
I would think
super
they
racist.
would do it in public. A Slavic guy, like it's a different.
But not at, I mean, but maybe.
In a game?
I would find it hard to believe it happening. Where's Saban playing? He's not national anymore.
Where is Subban now?
He's still in Nashville.
he's in
I find it hard to
Nashville.
believe a
Predators.
Nashville fan would do that, but I don't.
No. Like American people are going to do shit like that. I'm saying even a Slavic dude, and they're super fucking racist. Like it's anybody that's got any melanin at
Yeah.
all, because they can't sometimes tell the difference between the old school Russian Jewish people that are still there and the fucking Chechens and shit.
Right.
Like if it's not super white, it's like, hey, we need to talk to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Is it really?
They
I don't
can
know anything
really-
about their
Yeah.
culture.
They're super racist.
Disturbing how well they can sniff out a difference.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's like you got to know you can't just do that in front of other people, right?
No,
that's what I think.
They do it. They do it in soccer games. They do the monkey chants.
In
It's still a
Europe,
hu- it's
but
a
like
huge
here in
problem.
America.
Right, I'm just talking about a European being here. Like some dude
Yeah.
came over, he's hanging out with his Chechen buddy illegally. He wants to go to a game. He sees someone he doesn't like, and does the monkey noise.
Maybe.
They're weirdos. I mean, look, would it surprise you that much if if Jokic's brothers started doing that during a game?
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I would be less surprised if they just pulled some dude off the court and beat him to death in the fucking seats. To be
Right.
honest, but yeah, they're probably racist.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ayoka Lee, 61 points.
No
Congratulations.
one fucking cares about
Yeah,
that.
dude. She'll be celebrated. There it is. Thanks, Georgia.
The point of
nice.
all of that is that ESPN is super fucking woke and shit.
They're just useless.
I mean,
Anything you used to be
they've
able
been
to get.
trying to make people care about women's sports.
Well, what they tried to do was give them equal screen time.
Yeah.
So they want to say, hey, we'll show the March Madness tournament for women as much as we will for men and vice versa.
Well,
and no one cares.
There's a business aspect to that. Because,
Oh, is it really?
Well, ESPN doesn't have the men's tournament. They have the women's tournament.
got
So
it,
them
got it,
showing
got
equal
it.
screen time for that, there is actually a
That's
a
really
business
funny.
aspect to that. Like there's
Does
actually,
So they're not even doing it for women. They're just doing it for their own pockets.
ESPN's got the NIT as well, I believe. right?
yeah.
Love the NIT.
But they
Playing
do
for
not,
the 69th best team in the
The
country.
losers
Yeah,
bracket.
dude, yeah,
They
the
should just
losers
rename
bracket.
that to the losers bracket.
No.
Yeah.
That kept Shaka Smart around Texas a little too long
Yeah, it did. It did. When's your next college basketball show, by the way?
we'll do Wednesday, I think.
this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auburn's number one.
Auburn's number
is
one.
Yeah.
This should be their second week at number one, but
Are they? Is this their first time
Ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Interesting.
Ever. And they had
Are
Charles
they-
Barkley.
Is it a blip or are they really?
no,
good?
they're
No,
legit.
they're good.
Okay.
And also this year, there's no Baylor Gonzaga like
Yeah.
last year. This year, this field's wide fucking open.
Well, Gonzaga's kicked John Stockton out for the rest of the year. So
Yeah, not wearing a mask.
they've lost my support.
No, he said that 100 players, college or just athletes, have died from the COVID vaccine.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is that true?
No,
think that's
I don't
true.
think
that's
so.
not true.
it's super not.
It's not
Like
true.
even the European footballers that are having heart attacks with myocarditis, it's not 100.
Right.
It's not even anywhere close to that. And that's where
No.
that's where the major issue has been in soccer.
I don't
not
know that
basketball.
one college kid has died from
No.
getting a vaccination.
I doubt it.
It's a weird thing for John. John Stockton's one of those guys, though, where it's like we never really knew anything about him.
Well, he lived in Merman territory for a long time.
Yes.
And he had that haircut too, which is very suspicious.
And the shorts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a white man. Come on.
Yeah, but those were extra.
you can't blame him for
short.
that.
He kept him after the NBA went like well below the knee.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Yeah, yeah.
still like well
Yeah.
above. the
His,
thigh.
I feel like maybe it was just the ratio, but I feel like they got higher.
I would
yeah.
say less people have died, less student athletes or students have died from the vaccine than a Brian Kelly football practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an accurate statement.
Is my bookie the
Yeah.
thing? Okay. So with my bookie, by the way, over the weekend, so if you're not on Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook, join. It's free. It's a private group. That way you can talk shit and see the actual betting slips. I posted this, I think, Thursday or Friday. I always post the betting slips in there. There was a 13-point teaser offered this weekend, which I've never seen it that high.
That's free money.
That's what it seemed like. So I put $500 on it, and I won all 4 games. And I won. If you're out there and you're able to get that, I mean, I'm not sure because there's only 2 games this weekend.
Yeah, every game was like a one possession game.
Yeah, definitely do that if they offer it. I hadn't seen it, so I jumped all over it. And I think the max bet was $500. So like, I max betted it, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, I can't believe this!" And you guys got a bunch of free money too. Check out their fucking spreads, because if they're doing that for, let's say, over-unders or something else this weekend, jump on it. Go to mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin' Bros, doubles your deposits. Bet with us or against us. This has been the Monday Morning Recap.
And
with,
go ahead and grab a lottery ticket every week with the golf bet.
Yes, you usually sprinkle it in where? On the college show or here?
We'll do it here.
Okay.
So Torrey Pines this weekend.
Yep.
Like Lonto Griffin,
Beautiful course.
75-1, I believe it was the price I saw, and Luke List 80-1.
Okay.
So they're both trending right now. They're both Lonto Griffin has a good course history here, and yeah, there's your lottery ticket for the week on my bookie.
I'll put 50 on each of those guys.
I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Who are they again?
Lonto Griffin kind of sounds like a cheap Star Wars character.
Yeah.
And then you have Luke List, who's a handsome man.
Okay.
You said 75-1.
I think so. It might be better. Last I saw it was like 75-1.
You said Griffin,
Griffin, yeah.
Lonto, plus 7,000.
Okay, so 70-1.
Yeah.
70-1. Shit. All right, I'm in. I'll throw 50.
Wait,
on
who's
it.
the other guy?
Luke List.
Luke
so
List and
List.
Alonso Griffin.
He sounds handsome.
He does sound. That's a nice name.
80
That's
to 1.
very
80 to
strong.
1 Luke
List, yeah.
List. There you go.
Boom. I mean, do you put $100 on shit like this?
I'm putting 50.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I wanna put
like
50 bucks.
50.
Okay.
25, 50 bucks.
All right, that's worth it.
Yeah, if it's one of the favorites, I'll put 100. Like if I went John Rahm this week, I think is Rahm like 4 to 1 this week
Stand by.
because he's like far and away the favorite, right?
He's 7.5 to 1 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, he
750, but he's the favorite.
he
yeah.
won the U.S. Open there last year. He got engaged there. He loves Torrey because
He fucked in
all
the
those
16th
reasons.
hole.
Yeah,
Hasn't Dustin Johnson won this before too?
I'm sure. Yeah, it's a good course fit. You got to be long here. Like Jordan Spieth, he's not going to win this week
Okay.
because he's
DeChambeau's
course is too
fucking
long for
20 to
him.
1 too. Him and Johnson and Matsuyama are all 20 to 1.
yeah.
All
I'm going to go
can
with
hit the
the long ones, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
real long
Lonto
ones. for this,
and Luke List. There you
yeah,
go.
just to do it. Just to do
Your
it.
lottery ticket every week. Get your
Why not?
numbers.
I buy fucking real lottery tickets every week, so I don't give a shit. I'm down. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, Papa Giorgio, I'm Ross Patterson. This has been the Monday morning recap at 6 p.m. It's now 6 p.m. East Coast time. You're welcome, everyone. Good night.